Welcome back to another episode of How Did They Grow? I created this podcast because I wanted you to learn how other coaches, freelancers, service providers, and course sellers are growing their business, landing 10 to 20 new clients every single month, paying them 50, 100, 200K months. See, if they've done it, you can too. And that's just the reality. And I want you to listen to these podcasts to understand what strategies are they using, what techniques are they exploring, because it's in these gems that you can apply it to your business and actually scale things up. When you're ready and you feel like you actually want to learn practical, proven methodologies, or even you want to hire a team that can build you a profitable personal brand, book in a chat with our team because we can guarantee you go viral and guarantee you get clients for your business.
And welcome to the show, guys. This is the How Did They Grow podcast, and today we have on Joel Mercado. Did I pronounce that properly?
Yeah, Mercado's market in Spanish, but yeah, Mercado in English, if you say it that way, yeah.
Oh, Mercado, right? Is that good enough?
Yeah, that's great.
Amazing. So, Joel, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm an entrepreneur, so I like to get out there and coach people. So I got a few contracting businesses, and my main thing right now is mindset coaching. So I've been helping a lot of contractors overcoming limiting beliefs and obstacles. So pretty simple to keep it as simple as I can without going into too much detail because it's a lot of different things.
Amazing. Yeah, we did speak. You are a serial entrepreneur. Let me just go back and wind the clock back a little bit. Did you always see yourself as a kind of an entrepreneur, or was it something that developed? Did you have history in the 9-to-5 world? Tell us.
Yeah, it's something that developed over time, I would say. At a young age, I wasn't already thinking I'm going to be an owner of such, right? I didn't think that way. But I didn't know I wanted to do something big and something that had to do with people, right? Like I already knew it had to do with people. I really love people and I want to help as much as I can and serve any way I can. So I already knew that at a young age, but in terms of ownership, I didn't own my first business until I was about 28, and that kind of fell in my lap. So that wasn't the plan.
Okay. So how did you take that transition?
I would say just kind of searching for identity, right? So like I was kind of getting tired of getting these jobs. I was building up these businesses through other corporations or local businesses that I worked for, and didn't feel valued. So based off the non-value that I was feeling, I said, okay, well, I need to create my own thing and start focusing on something else differently. So that's kind of what drove me to where I'm at today.
Amazing. What did you mean when you said you didn't feel valued? What does that mean?
Yeah. So, not feeling valued for me at that time was I had a skill set, which was people. So I was really big about building teams and was really big about leadership. So the biggest thing is making sure you take care of the people that you're surrounded by. So I've always worked as like a manager. I always had like a higher position within other companies. And my vision was always to bring people up with me. And then I would do that, and then things would get chopped down. And when I mean chopped down, pays would change just because we were actually excelling quicker than they expected. And then there was always these boundaries that were put on us. So at some point I just said, hey, like I can't be capped from other leaders' limiting beliefs. I need to seek other leaders that are going to help bring me and rise me up. So I sought out for mentorship and really just went out there and just believed in myself.
Amazing. So initially it all started as brick and mortar before you transitioned to online.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's the best way of saying it. Yep.
So how many businesses do you actually own?
Currently right now it's 5.
Okay.
I am reconsidering that. And the reason why I say that is because I'm really going into, like you said, the online space and really going into the coaching field. There's a big niche in coaching, and I don't want to discourage anyone when I say this. There's a lot of coaches popping up, right? And I really want to gain authority. I've been coaching for years, but I didn't professionalize it yet, right? So now I have a full-on coaching program, and a lot of it's all like psychological things that I do, and it's about being and understanding the mind first. And when a lot of these coaches are like, oh yeah, you have these processes, these systems, but they don't understand people. So I'm trying to get on the online space to start teaching people that you need to know people first and then you got to be able to help them through their obstacles. Then they can follow these processes that are being given. So that's a big deal for me, and that's where I'm really shifting my business space now.
Amazing. I think that's an amazing perspective, and it's also the right perspective, because I think it has come to that time in the world where social media is like, just the mere fact that you're not using it, you're already chopping one foot off.
Yes, absolutely. It's the world's in your palm of your hands now, literally. So social media is definitely being underutilized right now.
Definitely. So in terms of building your personal brand, how has that been for you? Tell us what you've gone through. What's that looking like?
Wow. So that started probably, I would say, 6 years ago. I kind of just started posting how I felt. I got into like the motivational posts, and I was just trying to get through my own things, right? So when I first started branding my Instagram and really getting out in social media, didn't really know where I was going with it. But at first, I just knew I had to get out there. So it was almost like, in my eyes, a personal diary, right? Like I'm saying stuff visually, I'm posting things that I need to speak to myself. And I started noticing a lot of people would reach out to me on DM and be like, oh man, that hit me hard. Thank you for sharing that motivational quote. Oh man, what you said today really reached out to me. And I was like, wow, like this is powerful. And at that time, that wasn't the intention. Yeah. It was for me, right? Like I was just posting to make me feel better about the things. So it started off with that. And then I started realizing like, hey, personal brand's a big deal. Even if you own a brick and mortar business, you still should walk in the space of a personal brand within your brick and mortar businesses as well, because you're able to bring that type of funnel and clientele to your brand as well when you become that. So a lot of things shifted over the years for me.
Amazing. So that I do get that insight. That's amazing. So you started posting on social media kind of 6 years ago, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
so
7 years ago. Yeah.
Amazing. So when did you take that big step and say, I'm going to leverage this for my coaching business?
A little bit about I'd say a year ago, little over a year ago is when I actually said I'm all in.
Amazing. And how has that journey been in terms of, because like now it's like there's a result attached to it. You're not just putting it out there. So how is that been?
Yeah, man. It's been awesome, to be honest with you. At first I had to get comfortable just getting myself out there. So the years kind of built up me feeling more comfortable on the camera, getting on multiple podcasts, and really just going out there and just giving free advice. A lot of people, I think, first start wanting to get into social media to get paid immediately. And then they try to like capture this game plan at first versus just putting themselves out there and getting eyeballs on them to understand that there's people that are out watching you and they see the value, right? So I really went all in. So I started investing into what type of content I wanted to talk about, what was the brand that I wanted to portray, and the authenticity, right? Like when I started posting, I started increasing volume of posts, and then just being very vulnerable on my stories, right? So like the posts, you build authority, right? Like you build authority on the post because people see what you're doing, they see what you believe in, and they buy into that, which is important, right? But the Insta stories is what really helped me too, is that people see I'm always vulnerable on my stories. I'm not just trying to make something up. They see my day-to-day life, and they see that what I'm posting on my day-to-day content matches my stories, right? So I think that's a big thing to consider when you're doing your content right now.
Yeah, it ties back to what you said. Is like there's a lot of coaches in the industry today, and it all goes back. You're in San Diego. I don't know, because there's this thing on social media that quote unquote Miami guru. You know what that is?
No, but I can only imagine because I keep seeing everyone pop up from Miami. So
yeah, so it's like this thing where everyone's going to Miami, buying Lambos, and they're selling courses and getting rich off of quote unquote scamming people off courses, right? So like that's a new trend, and a lot of people have genuine, because we see it. We're in the industry ourselves because we help coaches. We see that a lot of people, in terms of buyers, customers, clientele, their trust is really at an all-time low. And that's where that authenticity comes in terms of you being able to be vulnerable on your stories, not just, showing the Lambos and the and the watches and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, people are buying a lifestyle at that point. Is
Yeah,
my honest
exactly.
opinion. And you know, you're gonna hear people and haters and online. They're gonna be like, "Oh, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about." But you know, they're not giving the value of sustainability, the value of, hey, when you build the right foundation, this is what it's gonna take.
Yeah.
And then they're also not sharing the bad with the good, right? So like a lot of people see the Lambos and
Exactly.
they're seeing the flashy lifestyle, but you know, I coach a lot of people and they make a lot of money, right? And then most of those people are broke because they have their expenses so high, they haven't even actually profited much. So there's a perception and everything online. You just got to be careful on who you're following and stuff like that. I'm not a flashy guy, so you know, I have my own perspective. Do I like nice things? Absolutely. Who doesn't, right? But
Exactly.
I have a different goal in mind and what I'm trying to achieve and how I'm going to help. I'm not hating on those guys, by the way, because you know, if that's what you like, that's what you like. That's
Yeah.
awesome, right? I just have a different perspective in what I'm trying to achieve. That's all.
I hope you're enjoying this podcast. I hope you're taking notes. I hope you're learning so much practical wisdom, because that's what I really wanted from this podcast. Now, I just want to quickly say, if you're looking for a team that can actually help you explode and go viral with your personal brand with proven methodologies, I say this because I've been doing this for the past 5 years. We've got a team of 30 people who are ready to go ahead and explode your brand so you can get clients begging to work with you. Have a chat with one of our advisors. You can book in a chat using one of the links around this video, because that chat might just change your life.
Yeah, definitely. And that's kind of the point. It's like what is winning in the industry today, as we've seen, is authenticity. Just being
100%.
real, being who you are, being, Joel Mercado, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. Which is why you want to say something?
No, you're good. You're good.
Nah, so that's what I'm saying. So which is why when you said that thing about like posting the value, giving out that free value on post, and then coming back to your story and actually being open and being vulnerable, showing both sides of the coin, that's what's really going to win. You know what I'm saying?
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Amazing. So let me kind of get into your strategy. So what is your strategy with social media right now? Over the past year that you've been trying to actively use it to get clients for your business, what is the strategy? What do you do?
Honestly, what's cool about it is I never intentionally was trying to get clients on my social media. And I think that's what made it easier.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no intention. I'm just giving value. I'm just giving. I'm giving you what I believe. What's my belief system, my principles, what's my day-to-day look like. You guys are seeing live clips of actual coaching videos that like I show clips of videos of me actually in a coaching group. And you're hearing me literally live time. It's not a scripted video at that point. And then you'll see a mix of certain things that shows you who I really am. And I think that's extremely helpful for your audience. Anyone that's wanting to build a brand, is that they're truly getting to know you. And that's super important to me.
Amazing. Yeah, because it's like it goes back to the principles. Like, I don't know if you know Hormozi. You must know Hormozi, right?
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. So it's yeah, it's all about the value in terms of the more value the more value you can give, the more people are gonna trust you and see you as the expert. And at that point, if you're doing it with a personal brand, then people are quote unquote falling in love with you as a person. So at that point, selling is autopilot, really. You don't even need to actively sell. People are gonna come to you.
100%. 100%. Well, and you asked about strategy. Here's the other thing that a lot of people don't pay attention to is when you do this out of want and not necessity, you will receive. And what I mean by that, don't get me wrong, obviously there's certain brands that are e-commerce, they want to be very specific, and I get that. I'm talking coaching right now, right? When you start to coach and you're in the online space, I don't do this out of like, oh, I need to make X dollars. I do it because I'm truly passionate about making sure people get taken care of, that people actually change, that people actually do something. Instead of hearing some motivated speech or video, they're actually implementing strategy. They're actually implementing the concepts that you're putting out there online. and they're being held at a high level of accountability. So, one of the things that helped me a lot was I created a free group, and I
Okay.
coach every Wednesday for the last year, every single Wednesday, nonstop, never skip a beat. And I've created a community for free and just gave them nothing but knowledge every time, coaching. And I created a group that way before I started actually doing a paid group. And a lot of coaches aren't willing to do that, right? And at the end of the day, like I told you, I didn't do this out of necessity. I did it out of want. And when you start to get rid of that, you start to see the income come in later, right? Because you're building a strong foundation of people and people that believe in you, because you're literally just giving. So what do you think is going to happen when you're ready to pull out a program or actually give more value to them? They're going to sign up. And it's because that you've already built a good foundation of great people who see that you truly, and they're going to want to buy into that, right? That's just facts.
Amazing. And it is true. It is true. As I said, it all ties back to what we were speaking about in terms of authenticity, just being you. And what is the goal? Is to help people. If you're helping people in the world, the money is going to come. So it's like working things out from the back end, just figuring it out from the back end. Like, I'm going to figure out how I can give as much value as possible. The cash is going to come. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Amazing. Well, kind of, I know we were speaking about social media strategy in terms of getting clients. Kind of break down for our audience social media strategy in terms of what you're posting, how you're posting, what is the kind of, how are you handling it?
Yeah. So right now, obviously, I'm at a point that I can afford a content editor and stuff like that, right? So I did delegate that, right? So I don't do my own editing, nothing like that. I actually pay a company that do that for me at this level. But I do send videos and create videos and create scripts. Everything is created through me authentically. And then I send it out and have it edited, because you got to remember, you have to delegate certain things so that you can maximize what you truly do best, right? Like, I'm not an editor, right? And nor do I want to learn how to edit. So I think if you could find a team, a support group, whether it's a VA or anybody out there that can help you with editing, definitely make sure you can capture eyes, right? You definitely want to get people engaged on the content. So that's why I like having my edited videos based off of what I'm already coaching on, right? So the strategy is like, just like how we're recording this call right now, I record live calls, one-to-one sessions, group sessions, and we clip what I'm already coaching on, right? So what happens is, you got to remember, when you do it on social media, you're getting a lifetime energy from me. This isn't me just sitting in front of a camera and saying, okay, I wrote this script. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way, because there are some scripts that you need to make sure you have an engagement script, and then you have a hook, and then a call to action. Of course, there's strategy when it comes to social media. But the best I feel that you get is when people are watching how you're talking and the energy you're projecting in a real live call. Right? You guys can capture that. You're going to see a lot of success on a real life call, because that is your true passion. You're showing your true self to your audience. This is what I'm going to get when I hire this person, right? Like, this level of energy, this level of focus, this level of just accountability, I think is far more impactful. And that's been my strategy for the whole year is live calls being edited, and people can see it. They can get captured in the moment. That's already a true self. So I think that's the first strategy that I would tell any coach is to record some of your calls and obviously get people's permission, right? But record your calls, clip those calls, and watch the engagement, because people are going to be like, wow, that guy's actually speaking from the heart, right? He's actually saying what he believes. And I align with that. So then they continue to watch you and want to be a part of that growth. So it's okay to also start off with no content editor too, right? They want to see the raw deal of you and see what that looks like. So that's kind of what I believe in.
Amazing. So one thing you touched on is delegating, that's amazing. Finding people who can do the things you're not good at. And secondly, you said, I mean, it's all, at the end of the day, it's all tying back to that authenticity. It's like
Yeah,
showing people the real you. How are you on sales calls? Not, as you said, not like scripting is a bad thing, but like just giving them kind of a sneak peek, kind of a view of like, this is who I am. This is what we do inside of the program. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah.
Amazing.
At the end of the day, you can tell when someone's faking till they make it, right? Like when you hear that term, fake it till you make it, you can tell, right? And then you can also see guys that are just, and I say guys, but I mean this man and woman, right? Like anyone that you're watching who you want to follow or hire as a mentor, right? It's important that you can resonate with their message and their belief systems. If you do not believe in what they believe in, I promise you're setting yourself up for failure. I truly believe that. When you're within alignment with a mentor or a coach of sorts, and you're like, man, that message hits. Yes, I believe what they believe in. Yes, I want to do what they're doing. I want to walk like them, talk like them, or even surpass them. That's what you're really seeking for. And if your message isn't giving that on content, that's why I said, like, the flashy things, guess what? You're going to want people that have flashy wants. They want that materialistic thing. Of course, you're going to get that type of person. And if that's what you're seeking for, awesome. Nothing wrong with that, right? If someone's struggling about identity, do you think buying a Lambo is going to help that? Probably not. You're probably seeking for someone that understands psychology and is helping you out to do life coaching, right? If you're seeking to open a business in jewelry, would you take advice from someone that cleans pools as a coach, right?
No.
Like, that's what I mean by that. When you keep saying authenticity, I agree with you. And I think a lot of people forget that there's so many people out there. Even if there's a bunch of coaches, it's okay. Niche down, find out what you do best, right? And specifically talk about that on content all the time. When you niche down and you talk about that in your content, like everyone knows now, I used to be the motivator guy, right? Everyone knows when you follow my content, I am a mindset coach. I talk about fixed versus growth mindset. I talk about how to overcome obstacles. But they know that my niche is within the contracting space because I also own contracting businesses. It's that simple. And once I dominate that, I'm going to go more further, which means now, after I'm done doing that with the contracting space, I'm going to niche down to everyone because that's the goal. So I hope that's helpful, right? That's a big deal for you guys to niche down first.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I definitely do agree with you. It's like, even think of like, the big guys, as I said, like the Hormozis and the other big guys. It's like what they did is like when they were starting out, they did the same thing. They niched down. Now that they're big, they can afford to be broad and kind of touch everybody. And that's really working now.
Yes, 100%.
Amazing.
That's the goal.
Amazing. That's the goal. Speaking of goals, kind of what is the vision for, Joel Mercado and the brand and everything in 2025? Yeah. What's the vision? Where do you see yourself? Mostly your coaching business, because the contracting stuff seems like that's took off already.
Yeah, it's doing well, right? I obviously want to bring up people in my community and help them coach and get vetted, trusted people in the community so that they can take over the contracting space while I help them and develop more people to grow as leaders, right? So I just want to be a leader of leaders. I want to teach people how to lead. But first, you have to lead yourself and understand how do you lead yourself before you can lead others, right? And, I've been calling my shot every day, and I tell people all the time, my goal is to be the next Tony Robbins, right? He's the godfather of what I believe in. I believe in NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming. Like I told you earlier, I'm a certified hypnotherapist. A lot of people get weird about that when they hear hypnotherapist. It's not one of those things that I snap my fingers and you start barking like a dog, right? Like, it's not that. We live in a world that has a pre-program that we have learned based on the things that were given to us as children, right? So we have a culture, we have society that's programming our minds. And my goal long-term is to teach you how to unprogram the old things and program the good things, the things that you want, how to thrive, how to become better, right? Those things are super important. And that's why I'm so all in into the coaching, because coaching is that anyways, right? It's still mindset. Because how did these guys get to where they got to? Well, they understood something. They believed in what they believed in, which is mindset, right? They didn't let anything else come in the way. They got rid of distractions. They followed a process, they followed a path, and they saw their successes, right? But we do have limiting belief systems that have been pre-measured and pre-done for us. And my long-term goal is to teach people how to quickly get rid of that and be able to help our world win by the mindset. And that's my goal, my man. I really want to reach the masses and help people out with how they can overcome these limiting belief systems and really thrive in life. That's my goal. So that's where we're
Amazing. Amazing. This all sounds like it's coming from a deeper place. Is there a story behind all this?
Of course there is. Yeah. I had my limiting belief systems as a young kid, and my background, I don't talk too much in detail in it, but over time people will hear more and more about it. But growing up in the area that I grew up with, it was a very limited minority type space that I grew up in, right? I was always told that I had to be a certain way. I had to shave. I had to dress some type of way to really be accepted in the world. And those limiting belief systems made me believe that. And it really slowed me down as a child. And really my development, I feel like, really started changing when I started to realize that's all crap. I don't need to believe in that. I don't need to believe other people's belief systems. I need to believe in what I believe in and execute and thrive, right? But yeah, I mean, a lot of it, everything we all go through is all from the past. And one thing I love is that we say a lot is that the rear view mirror is smaller for a reason, and the windshield is bigger for a reason, because we need to focus what's in front of us and where we're going. We don't need to focus on the past anymore, right? And that's what I'm here for right now, is to teach people that. And yes, I have a past, but the past is what helped me mold me into the guy I am today, to drive me to become this better individual you see today, and to obviously obsess over mindset and being able to give value to people.
Amazing story, amazing journey.
Thanks, boss.
Yeah, man. Getting to the end of this. Let's kind of one last. You were speaking about your goals. You want to be the next Tony Robbins and all that. I think that's amazing. And it all starts somewhere, because like you're now getting into this coaching thing. You're kind of making sure you establish yourself. When you get to that position, then you go wide, then you go broad, then you start bringing in this what did you call it? Hypnotherapy, right?
Yep. Hypnotherapy. Yes.
Yeah. You start bringing this, and it'll take you there. Because I do follow a lot of Tony Robbins. I watch a lot of his old sales clips on YouTube and all that. He's an amazing guy. So like, definitely do see yourself getting there. Kind of help us. What are the steps you're gonna take? What are the action steps so our viewers can kind of just at the very least just kind of trace those steps?
Yeah. Obviously, like I said, niche down. So I have my niche in the contracting space right now. So you'll see a lot of me in the blue collar world, right? Mm-hmm. It's going to be with them, because I really truly feel that a lot of people view blue collar trades like a problem. Or I always say I'm bringing the blue collar world, I'm making it sexy again. And what I mean by that is, it's awesome to be a painter. It's awesome to be a plumber. It's awesome to be an electrician. It's awesome to be a home builder. It's awesome to be a pool cleaner, a landscaper, because that's a skill that was developed, and there's opportunity within that skill. But we were always told that blue collar trades, who wants to do that? It's dirty. It's this. Well, there's a lot of money to be made in that. Definitely. And there's also a lot of change, meaning look at the lives you're changing when you're creating these opportunities for other businesses, right? When you create a business, because you're so skilled at it, and you're able to help 20, 30, 40, 50 employees within your own skill, that's the impact I'm making right now in the contracting world. And then once that's done, and when I say done, meaning I feel like I feel accomplished in that, then I'm going to start really putting myself out there for professional athletes and different types of corporations and different people, different leaders, right? And I really want to scale this to a larger step. I mean, why not, right? The world needs it. And at some point, the baton has to be passed on. And I truly believe that I have that work ethic and really the passion to make it happen. So I'm trying to put hypnotherapy back on the map as well. And I don't say that in an egotistical way, but I say that because a lot of people don't understand these tools can help us overcome these issues we grew up with, these traumas, these triggers. And a lot of people, especially men, fear talking about these subjects. And I'm breaking those barriers. And watch me, I'm telling you, like the more and more people watch that, they're going to see that I don't fear talking about these vulnerable conversations and being honest and upfront and teaching really men, because we were taught differently, right? Getting in that space to teach men it's okay to cry, it's okay to be vulnerable, it's okay to let people in. But what you need to do now is how you execute to make it happen, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. So we're gonna make a change, my man. We're gonna make a change.
Amazing. I'm definitely gonna be tapped in on this journey. Yeah, this has been amazing. I think we've really come full circle here. Let me kind of ask you: is there anything you think you wish I asked you on this podcast?
I think I just want to say one last thing, right? Is because I know a lot of this has to do with the social media strategies and stuff like that. I think your intentions have to be pure. That is just that's my belief system, right? Your intentions have to be pure. And when you do that, everything works for you. It just becomes automatic, right? So like there's strategies out there, there's blueprints, and I'm sure you guys have a blueprint for your viewers and people that are listening, for coaches and stuff like that. But be pure about your intentions. So when you get on, people see that purity. They see what those intentions are. They're going to want to support you more. So it's okay to fail. It's okay to show your vulnerability. It's okay to mess up on your videos. It's okay, right? It makes you that much more human. And then people want to support you more. So I really wanted to share that because I know this is a very specific podcast for those type of individuals. And I just wanted to highlight that it's okay to just get yourself out there and really talk about your story and how you can help people out as a coach.
Amazing. I think that definitely, and I think that's the theme of this podcast and what we've been speaking about. It's all about the intention, the authenticity, because even if for the sake of the world, you don't want to be authentic, you could have gotten away with that 10 years ago. Right?
Yeah.
You can't today. There's no way you're getting away with it today on social media. Nobody's going to trust you. You have to be authentic. It's the only way you win.
100%.
Amazing. Yeah, man, this has been amazing. Where can the people go to find out and learn more about what you do right now?
Yeah, so right now I'm on Instagram. It's where I'm heavy on. I'm also on TikTok, but on Instagram, official Joel Mercado. You can find me there. You can DM me there, and I will personally, literally, when you follow me, I will personally send you a voice memo saying thank you and connecting with you. That's another thing that I do. A lot of people don't do. Is I actually do that. I don't have someone that I hired that speaks on my behalf. It is me. When you talk to me through DM, I'm going to talk to you back. I'm going to text you. I'm going to help you as much as I can within the range that I can. And then I also just launched a school community. It's called Contractor Excellence through School. So any contractors that are listening, I'm literally building a build-up stage through the school community to help you not have to think. Just show up, execute, implement, and see the success. So those are the two main things that you can find me right now, and watch my journey on there as well.
Amazing. Yeah, man. As I said, this has been amazing, and we would love to have you on some other time to kind of break down more, even maybe less social media stuff, but more of that mindset stuff.
Yeah, I'd love to, man. This is what I'm on the journey for. So anytime I can be in this, it'd be my pleasure.
I really hope you enjoyed this podcast. I want you to go away and execute everything there is that you've learned. Now, one thing I will say is if you're in a position where you're ready to actually take things to another level, you want structured, clear guidance, you want a team that can actually help accelerate you, book in a chat with our advisors. Why? We can blow up your personal brand to attract clients begging to work with you. All you got to do is book in a chat with our advisors and we can help make it happen. Sound fair enough?